All right, great Sunday morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Cesar Mascoro Jr. with Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, in with our 15 minutes of mastery that we do each and every day to get your day started off on the right foot with some information, inspiration, and motivation so that you can attack the day, even on a Sunday, because Sunday is so very important. We talk about that all the time as we move forward. Each and every Sunday is Sunday Recharge. That's what we call it on Sundays, Sunday Recharge. Today, you should take some time to think through what worked last week, what didn't work, what needs to be addressed, and how you can double down on the good and improve the bad. Hey, listen, it's episode number 430. I'm coming to you from the home office today, out here getting ready to get out on a flight to Portland later this morning. My flight leaves at 5 in the morning tomorrow. Wow. Anyway, hope you guys are doing great. It's a fantastic Sunday, the first Sunday of 2025, January 5th. And today we want to talk about letting go of the status quo in manufactured home sales. All right. So Socrates, or for those of you that are fans of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure from way back when, Socrates, right? But Socrates writes, the secret of change is to focus all your energy not on fighting the old, but building the new. The secret to change is to focus all your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. So can you imagine what it would be like, or what your phone would look like today had no one put thought into how can we make it better? Can you imagine if no one had put any thought into how your vehicle could get better? What we would be driving, what would we be talking on right now? I mean, heck, what if the computers were the same from when they first came out? Okay. I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't be able to just talk to you from anywhere that I'm at, whether it's through my laptop or my cell phone or whatever it may be. If no one was thinking ahead, if no one was trying to innovate, if no one was trying to make things new and better, focusing on building something new, as opposed to had we just stayed where we were at. And I talk all the time about how this industry, the manufactured home industry, seems to be stuck in that. Now, look, I'm not saying that we haven't innovated. I'm not saying that the industry hasn't improved or made strides to move forward. I mean, it has. You see it 100% in the product. The product is so much better. I mean, that's why you constantly have home shows, because the factories are always trying to come up with something different, something new, adding new features, adding new products. So they're always innovating. They're always challenging the status quo. They're always leaving it behind. Can you imagine if manufactured homes today look the same that they did back in the 90s and 80s and 70s? Same thing with the lenders. Lending has changed so much. I wasn't in this industry. I started in this industry in 2009, so I wasn't in it when it crashed back in the 90s, and there was only one lending product out there. Now there's so many different lenders, not just lenders, but lending products, different types of loan types, different programs out there to help in different situations. So if you really wanted to, there's a way to help everybody. But the idea here, what we're talking about, is how these lenders and how the factories, they didn't focus on the old. Okay. They weren't thinking, okay, well, this is what our homes look like in 1980, 1990. And so, yeah, we're going to put out a new product today, 2025. But we've got to stay right here. This is what's always worked. No. They've continued to grow, continue to put new product out, continue to put new plans out, continue to put new product, homes with new building products in them. to be able to move forward with the times. What about you? What about you, the retailer, the community group? What about you, the housing consultant, the community manager, sales manager, general manager? Look, there's a lot of you that have been in this industry for a long time. I know that. I've run across a lot of you throughout my travels. Some of you that have been in the industry, 15, 20, 30 years. Are you innovating? Are you changing? Are you keeping up with the times? Are you moving forward, or are you staying where you've always been? Are you staying in your comfort zone? Are you staying in that section of life where you got comfortable in this industry? Or do you continue to challenge yourself? Do you continue to grow? Do you continue to improve? A couple of days ago on Friday, we put out a podcast. If you haven't gone and watch it, go to our YouTube page. Go to the YouTube page and check out the podcast that we did. We're also on Spotify now, by the way. Go check out that episode that we did with the couple of guys from Cardinal Financial. The topics that we go into have to do just with this very thing that we're talking about, which is changing the status quo. The sales force within the industry, those of you out there, need to start revamping yourselves. When we're talking about revamping, we're talking about understanding that people buy differently now. And if you don't start changing now, you're going to get left behind. Look, there's a lender out there. Great people. And they're thinking way ahead, man. These guys are talking about already. They're putting the message out there already about to the consumer to get their loans approved and go shop with their loan already in hand for what they're looking for. In essence, almost moving you out of the way if you don't start to change. If you don't start to improve and advance and innovate and change the way you do things. There will always be a place for you if you innovate. You can't resist it. We can't resist it. We can't hold on to, well, this is just how I've always done it. And you know what? This is what I'm going to continue to do. You're going to get left behind. You're going to struggle if you're not struggling already. And it's going to be more difficult for you. But why are we so apprehensive to change? Why is it that we don't want to move forward? One of the reasons that I started Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, one of the reasons I left retail and selling was because I wanted to challenge the status quo. From day one, look, I was nobody from nowhere coming into the industry in April of 2023 and saying, hey, we've got this sales training company that's here to help you change the way you sell. That's here to help you improve your buying experience. That's here to help you improve as a housing consultant, as a retailer, as a community group. And it's all about challenging the status quo, revolutionizing the industry, enhancing the buying experience, because I am to my core that needs to happen, because if not, one, you'll be left behind. Two, we are never, ever going to improve as an industry and get out of our own way and increase the market share that we already have had for the past almost decade of 8 to 10% of the market. Too many people out there think that if they continue to do the same thing that they've always done, that eventually that person that had never thought about buying a manufactured home, that site-built buyer that can't afford a home, you're thinking that if you just keep doing, eventually they're going to come to us. That's the frame of mind. But that, my friends, is not going to work. You want to know why it's not going to work? You have to pay attention to what's going on around you. So many builders and developers understand the mindset of the people that are out there. And that's why even builders like Lennar and David Weekley Homes are getting into the build to rent sector. They're building homes, site built homes that people can rent from them. That's why these developers are, you anywhere you go, you see all of these huge apartment complexes popping up. Why? Because they know that that site built buyer that can't afford to buy a home anymore, they're going to go rent. They're going to go rent a home, or they're going to go rent an apartment, because they're banking on the fact they know that the only option for these folks is you, the retailer, the community group, the manufactured home sales professional. They know that you are their only option. And those developers and those builders don't see you as a formidable opponent, because they are banking on the fact that when that buyer, that potential home buyer, goes to visit your retail location, or they go to your community, they're not going to have the same type of experience that they would have wanted to have. They're not going to go through a buying experience that they're accustomed to when they're shopping for homes. They're banking on the fact that when they show up to your retail location, they're going to see it, and they're going to see your office, they're going to see your homes, they're going to feel the way that they're treated while they're there, and how that whole sales process goes, and that person is going to say, you know what, it just doesn't feel right. Let's just go rent right now. Let's see what happens over the next couple of years. See if the rates go down. See if the prices go down, or maybe we'll get a pay increase, and we'll be able to go and buy a house in a few years. That's what those builders are banking on. That's what those developers are banking on. That's why companies like Lennar are starting to build site built homes to rent and not to sell. That's why all these developers are putting up apartment complexes all around everywhere, because they know there's 26 million families, ladies and gentlemen, 26 million families that can no longer afford to buy a site-built home. 26 million. I'm not even talking about the 8 to 10% of the market that the manufactured home industry has already. I'm not talking about those. I'm not even including those people in there. There's 26 million families across the country that you could be helping. But I'm also here to tell you, the reason you don't, the reason that your numbers don't increase, is because you are focused on the wrong thing. You keep focusing on how you can take business from the other retailers, because you're still thinking small. You're still just thinking about that 8 to 10% of the market. You're wondering, how can I take business from this guy down the street? How can I take business from that retailer over there? As opposed to thinking, how can I get some of those 26 million families to come and visit me, to come and buy from me? And even if you are thinking that, you are thinking, the majority of you are thinking, that they're going to have to come here and they're going to have to deal with us the way we deal. But that's not how they deal. That's not how they buy. Those people are used to a certain type of presentation. Those people are used to a certain type of buying experience when they're out shopping for homes. They're used to seeing something different. Even when they're looking at townhomes or apartments, it's different. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about when I say different, I would encourage you to go and visit. When's the last time you actually went and walked through a subdivision? And I'm not talking about walk through I'm talking about, when's the last time you went through the sales office and visited the display models and went through the whole buying experience? Just deal with that salesperson that's on site there. How does that person talk? How do they treat the people? What does the office look like? What does it smell like? What does that person look like? What do the homes look like? Go tour some apartments, some of these new apartments that are coming out. Go and tour those. What is that experience like? What does that feel like? What does that look like? And then be objective, be honest, and then compare it to what it's like when they show up at your location. What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that smell like? What do you look like? How do you speak to them? What do your homes look like? What does the lot look like? And then we don't stop to think that they're walking out and leaving and thinking they're going to, or saying that they're going to go think about it. And you think that, oh, I'm going to get this one. But all they're going to do is go back to that apartment complex and go sign a lease. Or they're going to go to a Lennar or a David Weekley that is building to rent now and renting one of those homes, when you could be getting some of those 26 million families that are out there that can no longer buy. But it takes changing you. You need to level up. Your retailers, communities, we need to level up. The buying experience is where it is at. The homes will sell themselves as long as you have them trimmed out, looking good, staged, smelling good. The homes will sell themselves. Your lot clean. Man, skirt the homes. Don't leave them exposed with blocks. Invest a little bit of money into this. Yes, I know it costs money to do that, but you need to invest that money because you're up against the site-built industry. You're up against these apartment complexes. It's time that we step up. Skirt the homes, stage them, trim them out completely, put an AC unit on them if you're in the hot weather areas, put a heating system in them if you're in the cold weather areas. Make it an experience. Work on you as a housing consultant, as a community manager, your sales skills, your communication skills, your presentation, the look of your office, the look of your sales office. There's so much opportunity out there as long as we challenge the status quo. So here at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, going back to the quote from Socrates, we're not fighting the old man. It's there. It's there. We're focused in on the new. We're bringing you the new. We don't worry about the old. They're either going to change or they're not. And I'm here to tell you, for those of you that are not aware, I highly encourage you. You need to start going to these industry events. You need to start going at next week. There's a show in Louisville. There's next month in February, MHI is having their winter meetings in San Antonio, Texas, right here, my hometown. There's all of these things that go on all across the country. I highly encourage you to start attending some of these and look at the environment. Look at the people that are getting into the industry. We've got people that are coming into the industry that are looking to make change. And those people, even though you may look at them right now, and they may not be doing as much as you are, eventually that's going to flip. Because that new way of doing things, that is where it's at. That 8 to 10% market share that we've got right now, they do business the way we've always done it. They understand that because that's them. But I'm talking about this new blood that's coming into the industry is going after the 26 million. And they're getting it. They're those developers that are putting out all that cross-mod product. They're the developers that are going out and building 100, 200 units at a time with manufactured homes in a subdivision style environment. It's those communities that are starting to build these resort style of communities and selling lifestyle. That's where it's at. That's where it's going. And that's what's going to make the difference. Again, we will always have that 8 to 10%. But that's always going to get you what you've got. And you're going to just be cannibalizing each other. We need to change the status quo. We need to go after something new. We need to continue to improve. We need to continue to grow our selling style, our verbiage, our method of communication, our empathy. It all starts with empathy. Truly caring. If you truly care about the people, the public, you're going to make the changes that are needed in order to grow and improve. And that's what we're about here at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery. That's what we're about. Revolutionizing the industry, challenging the status quo. We're focused in on you. I don't care about the old. That's always there, man. I can teach you how to do that stuff. That's fine. We can do that. We're working on this. We're working on us. We're working on the empathy. We're working on making sure that we understand that there is a new, bigger, and better opportunity that must be met. Because if not, we're going to look back. We're going to be, damn, if I had only, shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? It's just like when you hear with investors or when you hear, hey, when the market goes down, and this is where you want to have cash stockpiles so you can buy properties and you can do these things and buy these things when they're at the low points. And then as things start to rebuild, you start to gain your money back. And those people that look back and say, man, if I had only saved up money back when I was making money. It's the same concept here. It may seem like a long time from now, but man, 2030, 2035, you're going to start looking back and be like, shoot, had I only started back then to make the changes, I'd have done so much more over these last 5 to 10 years. The face of this industry needs to change to meet the need of the people. It's just like the elections here recently. There was one party, right? We don't know who that was. There was one party that thought that they could do things the way they were always doing it. And what happened? They got smashed. It's the same thing here, folks. If you continue to think that you can continue to do things the way you've always done them, it's going to be okay, you're going to get smashed and you're going to miss out on that opportunity. So how do you make those changes? Look, it starts with you making sure that you commit to changing, that you understand the benefit to changing. And I strongly believe that most of you want to. You're just afraid to because you don't even know where to start. You're afraid to look different. Man, who cares what everybody else says? Who cares what everybody else thinks? You're there to do bigger things for yourself, for your family, for your community, for everyone. You should. But it starts with you. We have a lot of content out there that you could start consuming. You can start getting into. We've got a program just for housing consultants, community managers. I'm talking to individuals. If you're watching this and you're a housing consultant, we've got a group that you can be a part of for only $99 a month, where you could come in and we're doing training and you're in a group training with different people from all across the country. You can start to invest in yourself. You can go on our website, Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, and we've got different recordings of different events we've done that you can get into, and you can start to change the way you do business. You can change the way you approach your sales here in Manufactured Home Sales. Heck, you can get yourself a planner, right? We've been talking about the daily planner that we created for the industry. There's so much that you can do, but it takes you taking that first step and moving forward. But it's 2 years almost of me beating that drum that the status quo needs to change, that we have to revolutionize the industry, that we have to improve the buying process, the buying experience. So take today, Sunday, think that through, plan out. Where can you start? If you're not sure, reach out to us. I keep extending the invitation. You can shoot an email. You can comment on our social media. You can message us on any social media platform. We'll get back to you because we want to help. But take today, Sunday, plan out your week, and plan out what is going to be different about you moving forward. Because you need to change the status quo. If not, we're going to stay where we're at as an industry. You are. We aren't. We're moving forward. And that's the place to be. You guys have a great Sunday. We're always here to help you out. We're always here to support you at Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, the whole team and I. And as we continue to grow, and we're looking forward to meeting all of you and helping all of you in one way or another. Have a great Sunday. Plan out your week. Do fantastic things this week. We'll be coming to you every so often live from Portland, Oregon, really right outside Portland. It's a little town called Welch's. That's where we're going. We're going to be in one of the communities out there doing some sales training for a great group of people. And then the following week, we're in Louisville. So if you're going to be in Louisville, please come by and see us. We're at booths 120 and 122 out there in Louisville. Got some great plans in store for you guys there. All right. Have a great Sunday. We'll be talking soon. And as always, I can't wait to meet you.